What happens? Ah, there we go. Okay, I had to change the stream key. Makes sense. All right. Well, that was something. Interesting how things work like that. Doesn't it? I should have probably checked that beforehand, but I guess it just puts a different stream key up. But that's okay. We can manage this. Wait, why did I shift? Why are we shifting? Anyways, today is an interesting stream. Yes, finally some real content. We're gonna bake. We're gonna make a cheesecake in a very interesting way. I've never made one. I have to admit. So, and I'm making it in a really awkward way. But as Twitter always suggests stuff, I thought, yeah, you know what? Might as well. And it's gonna be. I've heard that, at least from a friend, that this method doesn't really work. So one brave Japanese person has made a cheesecake in a rice cooker. I guess you could say that a rice cooker is basically just an oven, while being also kind of like, it's needlessly complicated, because while there is there is rice cookers that you can program and they'll just keep going, but most conventional, like cheaper, not even cheaper rice cookers, but the ones that don't have a lot of extra functions, the way they work is through an element, a metallic bit that loses its conductivity once the temperature gets too high, which just happens to be calculated or put at the exact temperature when water's boiling, which helps the rice, like once the water's all gone, the temperature rises above the boiling point of water, which then deactivates the conductivity, or like changes the metal's properties in a way that its conductivity is gone. No, not the conductivity, that it's not longer magnetic, which means it disengages from a magnetic bit inside and opens the circuit, basically, which means that there's no more heat coming out because the circuit is open. And instead we'll go through for a free-flowing bit, not a resistor bit, which is the thing that creates the heat. Interesting stuff. But the problem is that obviously, since there's no water, there's not much to absorb the heat. And you need to bake a cheesecake at way more than just 100 degrees. So I have no idea how that actually works. I'll have to see how that goes. What the fuck, bro? It's Chinese? Wait, what? That's not how it works. It should have changed the stream title now, right? Let me see if that actually did work. It did work. Okay. Hell yeah, it did work. Yeah, I accidentally made an extra stream because it used like a weird thing, but let's not worry about that. Let's worry about the thing that I'm gonna do next, which is bake, regrettably. And baking Bichon, it's gonna go horrible. I can just tell you, it's gonna be just hilarious. So let's see if my phone has not exploded yet in my kitchen, so we can actually switch. Everything still seems in order, so let us switch the scene and see if we got something here. Yep, that looks good. All right, we got all the ingredients set up. I'll now switch to the kitchen, and we'll make some stuff. At least we'll try. I also need to somehow bring the recipe with me. I also need to bring the chat with me. I have not prepared sufficiently for this. That's not that great. Oh, cool. My phone just decided to not do anything anymore. It likes doing that from time to time. And I don't actually know what the problem is. There we go. I don't know. That's weird. Okay. So what do we need? Honestly, who cares? Who cares about you? I care about you. So we need 200 grams of cream cheese. I'll just... You know what? I'll just write it down. That's way easier. The problem is I don't have another device to like put the chat on. I have my camera here that, or like my iPhone that does the tracking right now. Then I have the phone that does that is the camera for the kitchen, and now I'm out of devices to like show my chat. Why are you in it and you're not a woman? I'm not even in the kitchen right now. I'm still in front of my PC. So cream cheese, and then we got the 2 eggs, and we got the 70 grams of sugar. We got heavy cream, 200 milliliters. We can do that. Two tablespoons of cake flour and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and I'll also add vanilla. So let's see. Let's see what we do. What this guy does. Put the cream cheese in a bowl, warm it in the microwave for about 30 seconds to soften it. Yeah, we'll just use a pot. I don't have a microwave. Mix with the whisk until smooth. Mix with what? All right. Mix it by itself, I suppose. Add the eggs, sugar, heavy cream, cake flour, and lemon juice to the bowl with the mixed cream cheese one by one and combine. Sure, that should be possible. Pour the batter into the inner pot, set it in a rice cooker, and press the cook switch to be continued. Once the rice cooking is finished, okay. So it's basically pretty simple. We just have to prep the cream cheese a little bit. We kind of have to prep everything. I'm honestly probably gonna do everything in a bowl because I don't want my ingredients to be cold. None of it should be really cold, and I know the heavy cream and the cream cheese is cold, and you never want to bake with cold ingredients. They never really mix well. You want to be like at room temperature, and to do that, well, we'll have to warm them up. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as we go. We got the ingredients as needed, so let us move over to the kitchen. Okay, there we go. Put the recipe up here. I should... Well, we'll figure it out. First of all, we get the rice cooker out of the way because we don't need that thing right now. And we need the real estate, unfortunately. Get a new fancy cutting board, which I don't need really, but kind of need it for just having a surface, I suppose. We also need a small pot to heat the cream cheese in. That's the first thing we're gonna do. Just put it on like 4, I guess, and then we'll see. So basically, what we're doing here is we're making just a basic cream cheesecake batter, which is just with the ingredients we see lying around here. There is a little bit of a difference because I don't know what Japan has in terms of cream cheese. I know that American cream cheese has about 35% fat. No, even more, I think. Even like 45 or something. But this has like 45% fat for 100 grams. Or like in general, just. And this one only has 24, so this is less fat, which means it's going to be a little bit lighter. Which might be good, which might be bad, but I don't actually know. Okay, well this is something. So to make sure we might actually add a little bit of butter, but I'm not sure if I want to just do it or if I just try it with like a base recipe. I haven't really figured that out. And then we need the cream, of course. So this isn't exactly 200. This is 300. So I wonder if I want to like adjust the stuff a little bit, or if I just want to like go with 200. And I think I want to go with 200. Probably makes more sense. But for that, we need to actually measure it. And we can do that by adding a measuring device. We need the whisk anyways, so let's get this. Let's get this cleaned. Alright, that's perfect. Alright, let me dry this off real quick. There we go. And now we should be able to measure properly. I mean, it's not an actual recipe. Oh, come on. I hate this device. All right, mode. We need grams right now. There we go. Go back to 0, please. There we go. And now take a spatula. And then we measure out 200 grams, which should be about this maybe. It does look kinda nice. What? That's not even close. What are you talking about? What the hell? Come on. 170. 194, that's perfect. And then the rest of it is on this spatula, I guess. 201, that's perfect. Just keep the rest of it. Now, this one we want to heat up. So we're just gonna warm this up in the pot a little bit. And it's already like burning, which is not good. It shouldn't make a burning thing, so we'll just take this off right away, because that's not what I really wanted. Didn't want to burn it right away. So all we want to do is just warm this up a little bit, right? So just a warm pan is fine, just to make sure this this emulsifies later on. So just getting this warm enough. This is actually kind of nice already. We want to give this not a head start. We don't want it to cook or anything. We just want it to like warm up a little, so it's and 30 seconds in the microwave is like nothing, right? It's just to like make it smoother, and I think that's already kind of good already. So we like this. It does smell nice, so would like to get the stuff off the just get the stuff off the spatula. But I don't think we can add much more heat, so we will just keep it as that. And now we just pretty much add everything else. Now there isn't really a good way of like doing this. But I guess we'll start with the I mean, we can just start with the heavy cream, I think. That's gonna be fine. Actually need milliliters. 200 was it, right? 200, sounds about correct. All right. Now, this is also really cold. So what I want to do is get this back on the stove for a bit while we try to add the other ingredients really quick. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to rinse this off real quick. Alright, probably not the best idea to just pour in a bunch of sugar into a wet cup. It's gonna be fine. Come on. Grams. We need 70 grams of sugar. We're actually gonna go a little less than 80 grams, 70 grams, because I do have a plan for this. So we're doing about 60 grams of sugar. And the reason is because I want to add vanilla a little bit to it. So this, I think this is like a lot. I'm not sure how. Okay, might be too much. I don't know. I don't know yet. But we'll get this transferred. We'll also get you transferred, so you can actually see what I'm doing here. Nothing too fancy though. Just your average stirring. Yeah, why didn't I use this? I'm actually not that smart. All right. Okay. Already spilled, but that's okay. I guess whisking and stirring, whatever. Who gives a shit, right? Okay. Just whisk it slowly in there. We actually wanna get it hot, because like it should. I'm not sure if this is even good, if this is like the way it is. It should like cool down actually, because I know if I'm adding eggs, the eggs obviously shouldn't like cook. So that's like the biggest part, which is why I might want to kind of like let it sit a little bit. Nope, sorry about that. Move you back in position for this one. Okay. All right, let's let this sit a little bit, just to make sure. You're making us a cake? I do make you a cake. It's just I'm doing a cursed recipe. I'm not doing a cursed recipe. I mean, just if you don't know what the premise for this video stream is yet, because you've skipped the first 10 minutes, you're in for a surprise, and the surprise will happen soon. Okay, so this is. It's not gonna be bad. It's not gonna be bad. It's gonna be fine. The eggs are not gonna explode. All right, we need 2 eggs for this to be whisked in. I don't know at which temperature they start. Like, do I have to like? When do you like whisk eggs? Like you just throw them in there, right? That's the thing that I haven't really checked out, is like, for cheesecake, do you just throw them in, or do you just whip them up until they are like, I don't know. I mean, the recipe doesn't say it, but the recipe is also a Japanese tweet that has been translated. So, do you like? There is this thing where you like whisk them up until they become like a fluffy texture, right? And I feel like that's the thing that I have to do here. Or maybe not. I don't know. The instructions aren't clear. I'm a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna look up a regular cheesecake recipe while this cools down, and then check whether or not I actually need to whisk the eggs. We love us the best cheesecake recipe. All right. Take it easy on the eggs. Overbeating your eggs is the quickest way to ruin a cheesecake. Overbeating can ruin the texture and cause cracks. Lightly scramble each egg before adding it into your batter. Keep your mixer on low speed and stir until just combined. Just combined. Okay. Okay, just combined. I can do that. Yeah. Okay, well, Just combining them, just combining them. Do I take this cracked egg? It does look fine. Yep, looks fine. I don't have a mixer, so I think overbeating is gonna be really difficult by hand. You really need to want it. So, oops. Combining. I mean, if you use a mixer on the lowest setting, like even just doing it for like 10 seconds is gonna be like a minute of like regular stirring. So I don't really know what this is about, but I don't know what means combined, because I need to pretty much put this in there and make sure it's like a consistent, it like combines with whatever I put in there, right? So I don't know. This is the scary part, because eggs, they're kind of unique. All right. Right. This looks combined, kinda. I'm not really sure. And so I do know that like beating your eggs until they become fluffy, that's like a thing that's actually incredibly difficult by hand and takes like a lot of time. And if they required you to do that, they would say that, but they actually do not require you to do that at all. All right, let's put this over here and then just pour these in, I guess. Well, in they go. Cool. Now let's stir this around and let's see what this does. Okay, here you get a better view while I'm stirring. They do appear to, I mean, it doesn't look like something. It doesn't look wrong yet. But what else am I missing? Oh, I'm missing the cake flour. Right, 2 tablespoons of cake flour. So we have to add that one. 2 tablespoons only seems wrong, but this is like a cheesecake. This is not a regular cake. All right, let's get the cake flour. We actually do. I did manage to get cake flour, and I've looked up what it is. Apparently, they mixed some of the flour replaced with just starch, I think. So the protein, what is this? So I think the protein content is lower, and that means it will bake up fluffier. But I have also no idea, what is this? Just, I don't know, man. Why is this so hard to open? I feel like all these factories, they're kind of messing up with the packaging. All right, 2 tablespoons. I mean, like this, I guess. Probably not too much. This is probably precise. This is probably the most precise part of the cake, and I'm just winging it. But hey, I think what it needs to be, it needs to thicken up a lot, but it doesn't need. It can't become clumpy. I'm pretty sure I can add a lot of more flour to this before it gets really clumpy, but we'll have to see. If I don't add enough flour, it will just be like a brick that doesn't bake up properly, right? That's the problem with this. Let's see what else we need to add. That's pretty much it. The only thing left to do is add some lemon to it. I don't know why, but I mean, lemon is always good. So I added lemon and vanilla, and vanilla is not part of the equation. But hey, I mean, it looks good. The only problem is that I'm adding that the secret is that we're not baking it in the oven. And it's not gonna work. I already know it's not gonna work because I have an understanding of how my tools work.
But we're gonna do it anyway, and it's gonna be really hilarious. Okay, this seems to be alright. This seems to be about correct. Alright, let's get this out of here. Let's cut a lemon. We need about 70 grams, 70 milliliters of lemon juice. There is quite the amount of lemon seeds in here to get rid of these. Do I see any others? I think, oh, there's one more, I think. Yep. Do I see another one? I see another one. Nope, that's just it. Okay, should be fine. Let's see. Just so I stop. Wait, what did I say? Oh, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. A tablespoon. There was still a seed in there. That's probably fine. Whatever. Good enough. Just a little bit of lemon flavor to like balance out everything else. I suppose. You're probably supposed to use like concentrate or something, but hey, I always have lemons in the house. If there's one thing that's never missing from the Kaiser household, it's lemons, and for a good reason. All right. Well, that does seem to be a pretty good batter. Now we just have to make it. And well, without further ado, we're introducing the star of the show. And the star of the show is, of course, I do not have enough space for this. Yes, indeed, it's a rice cooker. Okay. We're honoring the recent global bond that we have forged with our Japanese friends, who have then suggested me to, or not me, but have made cheesecake in a rice cooker. Now, again, I reiterate, there is a problem with this. And the problem is that there is 2 types of rice cookers. One that work via a programming, and one that work with just the physics that I explained before, with the piece of metal that loses its magnetic energy when it's getting over the boiling point. So I expect this thing to just turn off and the cake will not be baked at all. The thing is, I'm gonna be ruining my first cake by making it in a rice cooker, and I really hate that idea, but it's also kind of the point, right? The point is we are embarking on an adventure, and we're not making a cheesecake like anyone else. We are actually making a cheesecake that I don't know. I do want like even footing for this though. This is kind of annoying. I hate my kitchen sometimes. I really don't have enough space here. Like, let's try to put the knife in here so it evens out. All right. No, that's okay. I think this is fine. Okay. I think that's okay. All right. Deep breaths. My man needs to measure out all his ingredients ahead of cooking, but then you don't get to see the process. The cheesecake really isn't anything more than just pouring the ingredients together, so there isn't really a point of showing the process if it doesn't work. But we have cheesecake batter, and it does smell like cheesecake, and it tastes like, I mean, cake, I guess. So I did this right at least. All right, let's I guess we pour it in. This is so stupid. This is actually so stupid. Why? This is gonna kill my rice cooker. And like, I don't know. They're barging in the door. That's for sure. Like I'm not making it out today. So if any of you, uh, well, have anything to say to me at the end, uh, you know, now's the time. All right. Well, that's pretty much it. I'm not getting much more out of this. So now there's only one thing I can do. And turn it on. Now, there is a problem. I technically have to stand here and check when this thing turns off, because I need to turn it back on. Again, this is the hard part, and I'm trying to figure out a solution for this by moving the camera. The problem is I also don't want to move the rice cooker right now, so we're gonna. This is gonna be bad. What we need to do, I should have figured this out beforehand, honestly, that this was not a good idea. All right, let's try to spin this thing gently. Okay. And now we're zooming in. Yep, maybe a little more. All right, we can now see it is on cooking. So what we are doing now is we leave the camera on, and when I see that this thing needs to be turned back on, I'll come rushing into the kitchen. So until then, I guess we wait.
Okay. Um. Well, this is quite something. Let us. Does this work? Yes, it does. Okay. So we now have our little camera in the bottom, and we have to keep in mind. We have to constantly check it and see if the thing goes out. I'm pretty sure the cheesecake doesn't care if it's like not getting the full heat all the time, but I have actually no idea what is the temperature. What is the temperature for a cheesecake? Let me see. Because this thing, technically, realistically, this rice cooker should not go above 100 degrees. It will turn off. But it will obviously, like, there will be some delay. And what I can do is, and this might, it will probably not ruin the rice cooker. But I can just hold down the button, because it's just a mechanical thing. So if I just keep pressing it down and lock it with something, it will be wait, what the hell? Dude, what is this? What are these AI generated cheesecake recipes? Just give me one that tells me what temperature I need to put my stupid oven at. I hate baking internet. Cheesecake temperature. 170 degrees. Okay. That's almost double. But also it says 45 minutes, which also it's gonna be awful. It's gonna be awful. It's gonna be so awful. Well, Okay, let's not worry about this. We'll let the rice cooker do its thing. We'll trust if this doesn't work, the Japanese they will fear my wrath. But there's also something else I'm gonna do today, which is leading you through my journey to the UK. I've been in London last weekend, and I've explored a little bit, and I've also recorded a little bit. So this is the thing that we're gonna do. So let me prepare the scene while I'm... Who is ringing my door? Give me a second. Okay, so someone ringed my door, but you can also already see the rice cooker has already stopped cooking. And this was like not even 5 minutes. So we need a permanent solution for this. That's actually pretty bad. Let me figure this out. I need some adhesive. I should have again prepared that beforehand. I hate how perfectly that coin fit in there. That is, it's gonna explode so bad. Anyways, let me prepare the scene. Why am I doing this? Surely nothing will go wrong. I mean, I feel like I'm kind of scared that the thing will blow up, but what's the worst thing that happens? Like, it heats up a little bit too much? I mean, it might change its properties permanently, but I mean, just in case, I mean, I'm gonna be paying attention to it, so that's not really a problem. But yeah, still, it's not what it was meant for, definitely. All right. Well, let's not worry about that for now. Actually, let me back up a little bit for the camera. Okay, now I have a better view of it. If it smokes black, then I'll know I probably have to stop. Okay. Which one is the one that has my filters on? Is there no layer that has my filters on? Ah, dynamic lighting. There it is. Apologies. Okay. Oh, I can't see it that way. That's bad. If the scene's not active... Oh, wait, I have an idea. Um... Um, 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 um... Uh... Dynamic lighting, switch to the scene, paste the source, put it down here, so you guys can't see it. And then open it up for me, so I can see it. Inspect? Is there the inspect element? No, it's not. Okay. I mean, it's right next to me, so it's not like I'm... Oh god. What'd the camera do? Okay, camera's kind of messing up, but that's okay. Okay. Anyways, my London trip. I'll check in like 10 minutes. I mean, like 20 minutes, I guess. You're not supposed to open the thing, that's really funny though. I can't. Okay. Let's turn off the music. Sorry, I'm a little bit stun locked by what I'm doing because I'm actually kind of terrified. Let me also get my YouTube chat back because I do need that one. Let me do that. Open chat, new window. Put this over here. Custom browser docs. Yep. All right, there we go. All right, let's start. So, what brings me... I already see mirrors. My face is probably gonna be in this quite a bit. So, you know how it goes. Just you don't see anything, right? That's the kind of pact we form. We are in the void. The void is... Yep, there I am already. Look. The surfaces of London are shiny. That's just the way it is. I've tried, but like either I wear a mask all the time, or I just like don't bother. And I think the not bothering thing is what I'm more into right now. That's the advantage of being a guy that is mostly forgotten by the world. I can do whatever I want. Also, I still have the Enfield tag. That's probably the one that I should have that I should have switched. Yeah. There's always some scuff, as they say. I'm not immune to that. Okay, so London. What's my opinion of London? For the most part, it was okay. And the reason why it was okay is because I stuck to the popular, to like the wealthy areas, right? So this is Soho. This is probably the highest, like the average... what to say? Average salary, highest average salary, earners, spenders, everything. There's probably some royal places, but this is like the modern... It has like a lot of fashion places, a lot of beauty places, lots of perfume places. That's kind of how you know things are good. Oh, yep. Don't look at the windows. And there's like... Everything is so reflective. There's actually no hope. And the walk will get us through some of the popular landmarks and all that good stuff. So that's just how it is. Because I didn't really have anything else to do, and it goes like 90 minutes, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So I did what everyone does in London: get food. London, as with all the other metropolitan areas, if there's one thing you can do here, it's eating. And I think that's also the most interesting part, because depending on where you live, and I live in a pretty unremarkable area, there isn't a lot of choices of like actually good food. So being able to just eat whatever you want is kind of nice. I didn't get British food, so this is the one rule that I put up on myself. Even though I went to the UK, to London, you're not getting British food in London. You can get British food anywhere else but London. But London has all the other food, and it's most likely even better. If you want to get good, and I think that that's kind of a rule that probably goes for like every country, right? Don't go to the capital if you want the local food. The capital is always has like everything. It's like made for tourists. It's not made for like people that want to see the country. Uh, you go to the countryside or like um, to like the the actual like mom and pop shops and stuff like that. Surely they got good fish and chips. They have fish and chips. What can you make with them? Like how good can they possibly be? Funny enough, I didn't even see a chippy here. Like there's just none, because I'm pretty sure the problem is that this district's literally too wealthy to have fish and chips. So you can probably get it in some places, but it's not like there isn't like a honest to goodness chippy that you can get like a boiled egg or whatever they serve there. And like the fish and chips, of course, but also not really my favorite thing to acquire or like eat. Like I guess I could eat it, but it's like I wouldn't go wild over it. But honestly, if I talk about what I got for food, you'll roll your eyes and say like, okay, whatever, man. uh, I'm definitely in a glass house. All right, let me check on the cake. It's steaming, but that's not bad. A rice cooker is supposed to be steaming. Let me see if it smells burnt already. You enjoy some of the London back alleys. Okay, I'm pretty sure the bottom has already burned. So we're just gonna leave it on warm for a little while and see what happens. I'm... It hasn't been that long, has it? How long have we been into this? 6 minutes? Damn. I mean, time flies when you're walking. But yeah, okay. So it seems like it's... So this is the advantage of like having very... I wouldn't say a good sense of smell, but since I'm right next to my kitchen, I tend to pick up on this. Like, I usually just throw oil into a pan and then I just come back to my desk and I smell immediately when like the oil is slightly burning, starting to burn, because you can really smell it, and then just bolt back, and it just had like a very faint smell of like this burnt cake thing. It looks kind of good, but it blew up a lot, so it's kind of gonna be like a bulky cheesecake, but that's not really that bad. I guess I could try poking it and see how it goes. I don't think I like UK fashion. Yeah, this is very... We got some hotties around here, so I tend to be a little bit apprehensive when it comes to people watching in Walkie's videos, because this is people I filmed basically. Even though, you know, I'm not like putting them on the pedestal or something like that, but I'm also not blurring anyone out, so, because that's kind of impossible. But there was some really cool dressed people, but overall, this is like London. There's just gonna be blokes. There's gonna be blokes. They're gonna be lads. They're gonna be sisses. It's just gonna be all kinds of people. I think some other places have it a little bit. I think London is still like part this sort of metropolitan area that tries to be the like posh and everything, and like modern and stuff. But there's just so many normal people here that just kind of live here and do their stuff. I think it's a little bit different if you go to Manhattan, for example. I've visited almost every metropolitan... What like... There's only a couple cities that like qualify as metropolis, right? Metropolis. I don't want to see the film. I wanna have the meaning. Meaning. A large city. Isn't there like a cutoff point? The following countries have either a specific legal definition of metropolis or have a history of usage of the term. Brazil, I've not been to anything. Okay, so it's I thought it was just like there were like 5 metropolises, but I guess China has 60 megacities. China forever, I suppose. Japan would just be Tokyo. Yep, I've been there. I've been. I guess France counts, huh? And for German, it would just be Berlin. Yeah, I do need to. I need to tour a little bit more. I do want to see some more things in Europe. I'd like to see Athens. You should go to China next. Unironically, China's gonna kill me. Like, I'm not surviving China. I was like blindsided by Japan. And in Japan, I can at least say sumimasen sometimes. I don't think I said it once because it felt like disingenuous. But yeah, China is like, do I know the thank you thing? I used to. I memorized it. What's thank you in Chinese? Or was it thank you? Xie xie. Right. That's it. Yeah. We got that. Yeah. Always say xie when you get the foods and everything. You played Arknights, it should help. It does not help. They're never thanking anyone for anything. But yeah, I think London still feels like a normal place, I think. Not gonna lie, Chinese people never show gratitude. I guess that makes sense. It's like a lot of old buildings in London, but I'm used to old buildings. But there's a lot more of old buildings because the Britons haven't been bombed like our cities have. So our old buildings are all gone. You have like a lot of old buildings in Berlin, but Berlin has also been hit by a lot of stuff. So it's like old buildings in Berlin are like buildings from the 60s. And you have like a couple really old places. Even my city has like a couple of old places. But you know, kind of goes. Let me check on the cheesecake because I do need to kind of like, I need to kind of like see what this thing actually does. Okay, so the cake's going, but I want to give it like a second boost, right? So it's like it's burned a little at the bottom. It's just what it is. We fucked up there, but I don't know how much it is burned, and I can't check. I can see it on the edges where it's like a little too brown, and I can smell it. But like, what I want to do is because the interior is still. It's still kind of like there's still like raw batter in there, so I want it to cook through. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it like a boost for like 3 minutes to bring the temperature back up, and then I just let it slowly cool down while it's still on the warm setting, and that just should keep it relatively warm for a little bit, and then I just let it rest. Like after like maybe like 30 more minutes, when I do the poking test, where like you poke like a skewer in it. And if there's no batter coming out, then it's good. If I ever reach that stage, it's gonna be fine. So what I've noticed in this recording, and that's kind of annoying, that's why I keep the volume low. I hope this isn't too annoying. You can hear a lot of the wind. It was very windy. That's because I used the iPhone mic. I just want to say, I'm not sure how it looks for you on the stream. This is just my iPhone recording, 60 FPS. Just a base recording. This looks pretty damn good. Now, I think me swaying around a lot makes it a little bit hard on the eyes, because I think the iPhone can't like doing like this. Yes, I'm still doing this too much. I really tried not to. If I wanted to show something, like while I was at like a traffic light or something, I wanted to show a little bit because I have nothing to show here, so I just wanted to try. And there's also autofocus, but it seems to be behaving for the most part. This video quality is not bad. Like, it's not on par with our regular walkies, because that guy runs around with the $8,000 camera, but this is good. This is just a feature of your smartphone that can also do a million other things. And this is what I say. It's insane that just the R&D budget of like a phone is so strong that like regular cameras can't even compete, because they're not really used for like doing motion capture, basically. They're just for pictures. All right, let me turn this off so I don't completely. The coin actually got super hot. That's a little scary. Okay, I think like the entire rice cooker is now saturated with heat. So I'm just gonna let it sit there, and we'll see. Okay, so but London. Let's start from the top. Why go to London over a weekend? And I say, why not? It's relatively close. It's like a 90-minute flight. It's not super cheap, but it's also not super expensive. So it's, I think, for what did I pay for the entire trip? Must have been like 700, 800 bucks. Still a lot for the fact that I only been there for 3 days. But I could have saved a lot if I, actually, was it that much? Yeah, it was mostly for the hotel, because I stayed in Soho, which is like literally the most expensive you can go. But I did not inform myself about London, and I really didn't want to like, I wanted to have like a resting holiday, right? I didn't want to like book an Airbnb, someone in like the back areas, and then go on public transport. I just want to go out of my hotel and just be where I want to be. And this is literally, as you can see, we've walked for like 16 minutes. I didn't even like take a tram or anything. We're already in like at the area where the Buckingham Palace is. So this is like a park area, which is kind of nice actually. We see a bunch of ducks and stuff, and swans. Very full, very full. London is generally very congested, but that just makes sense. It's a weekend, it's a family holiday. It was the Easter holiday, which means that like a lot of people with their families are going to be out. There's just a lot of people in general out, and it's like a universal holiday. A lot of people take days off and stuff. So a lot of people around. I always make this mistake, but you know, it's not that bad. There's still just enough room to walk, so it's not that bad. Just like, I guess a little crowded, little noisy, little crowded. But parks are usually like that. If I wanted to really see nature, I'd just go visit nature and not like go to a park. A park is for the people that live there. It's not for the people traveling there, because a park isn't a site. A park is a place of respite, where like, because you live in London and you get like the dreariness of living in a concrete jungle, and you just want to like take like a load off your mind and engage with a little bit of greenery. That's what a park is for. It's not like because it's pretty or sightseeing. It can be pretty at times, but overall, it's like that's what they're for, right? But yeah, I like traveling, of course. This is probably a stand-in for some other stuff, because as I've been planning my conventions this year, I will probably cut some out. I haven't really decided. So I'm getting one free convention because I'm going to one in Germany, which means that one for me is very low cost and very low effort. I literally just have to show up, and it's a pretty big one. It has a lot of international people as well. I'll be running 2 cosplays there, I believe. And I might even be able to see a friend or two, so that one's probably gonna be relatively good. Then next up is Offkai. I'm probably not gonna go to Offkai. Offkai is Offkai is in Cali, very far away, pretty expensive. I did not get a hotel room. I don't have anyone who goes there that I know. I have one other person that I know goes there that knows me. But as far as I can see, my presence isn't really meshing with what they are doing because they have like their own like friend groups and stuff, and I totally respect that. Like they still took the time to hang out with me, which I appreciate a lot, but it's not like we're too close that that I can't base a trip on just hanging out with them. So that's not really how it goes, and I don't really have anyone else that goes there that I know, so kind of take it or leave it. I did apply for the panel, but there's like I'm pretty sure the panel applications like they're already decided or whatever. I'm not sure if they make them public. Seems like so far only the artists and the industry booths have been revealed. No panels yet. I'm guessing they're doing them at the end. If for some reason they do accept or like do have the panels at the end, and I'm somehow in it for some ungodly reason, I'll plan it and I go full balls deep to make it the best panel that I can possibly make. But without that, there's just no reason to go. I did get the tickets, unfortunately, so I'll have to just eat the costs because I was really sure I was gonna go, but as time went on, I was kind of like, do I really want to go? It wasn't bad last time. It's just not a thing that I need to. Yo, let me have him. I'm not sure if they're transferable. So that's probably not gonna work. But because they do checks with like IDs and stuff. Yeah. But you have to like do ID checks and everything. They do everything like that before they give you the badge. But they might be transferable. We'll have to see. Would you actually go? Like, are you live in Cali? I think you do, right? It's like San Jose. I'm not sure if you really want to go, but I guess you can just take a train or something, or like a plane, I guess, or just go. Offguy's like an hour drive for me. I see. Okay. Well, if I definitely decided to not go, I'll let you know. I guess you're the only guy I know who lives in Cali. I know Nemi also lives in Cali, but obviously got chicas already. All right, let me check on the cheesecake real quick while you enjoy the Buckingham Palace, or what we can see of it, I suppose. You know what? The cake might actually be real. I can't believe it kinda worked. That's insane. I have no idea how that. Oh, it looks good. XD. Man, that's gonna be interesting. Okay, but obviously a cake is best cooled down the cheesecake, so we'll have to put it in the fridge and all that. So that will take a while, but also let it cook for a little bit longer, I think, just to have it on the warming stage, pretty much, and then it should be fine. But yeah, and after that is Vexpo in the UK again. That one is already fully booked. I'll be there with an artist, and I think they're also going to be cosplaying. So I'll share a hotel with them. That's going to be fun. I also applied for a panel there, but I'm pretty sure I'm also not getting anything back. So that's fine. Not mad at all. Not salty at all. But Why did that woman side-eye me that much? I mean, I'm running around with the camera. But yeah, you can see like the families are going. Everyone is here. There's like all kinds of people, and so am I actually. I guess I'm just a, a, a mindless drone that enjoys tourism. I don't know. I've been so against like regular tourism, but as time goes on, I'm like, whatever. We might as well just look at some buildings, right? Look at this. Isn't this nice? Someone built this. Cool. I don't have to acknowledge it. I don't have to spend my life worshipping it or whatever. But it's nice to get out of the house every now and then. Maybe the price is kind of steep, but what else am I gonna do? Damn tourists be like, Lolita is wrong. True. The Morgan Freeman thing, right? Maybe I do like a throw redeem where you can throw like 100 truths. Isn't that the hot new meme? I never found them too funny, the edits, but you know. But yeah, my overall impression is that I just had a fun weekend. I actually didn't come here with a plan again, and I do believe in making your own adventure as it comes, but sometimes it's a little bit difficult because you go to a place and you're like, then what? What do I do? What do you actually do? Do you just go into random places? Do you just enter all the houses and smash their pots? That's not how the real life works. The real life is actually kind of more like Vice City, where there's a lot of buildings, but you can't go in any of them. I've actually grown to love museums. Well, if you want to go museums, this is the place to do it. But we didn't even go to a single one. I say we, I say me. I didn't go to a single one. There was a lot of art museums and stuff like that. So there's a bunch that can be enjoyed. Maybe one day I'll have the inner quiet to enjoy museums again. But for the most part, I'm not super interested. They use historical artifacts to tell a story about the city and its history. Jay, I know what a museum is. We have them too. I know. And like, I'm like always mildly interested in history a little bit. I think the problem is I've been to one too many World War II museums that like, because as a child you do it a lot in Germany. Oh, there's like a museum and don't forget our history and stuff like that. It's not really that preachy. It's just like, here's a guy, here's a cannon, here's the place where they tortured the Jews. No, literally, you just go there. Like, we literally went to the prison and we was like, this is the waterboarding chamber, this is the dark room. Do you want to go into dark room? You can close the door a little bit and then you can see what it's like in the dark room, and you can see like the dirt that's like caked on the walls and everything. They were just like, they just keep these up to shape and they're sending the school children's in there. It's like, I mean, it's humbling. I guess that's a, oh, well, that's me. Fingering the camera. That stuff's actually kind of interesting. Like actually going to the places where like there is where like this stuff happened. It's not just if it's a museum in terms of there is a thing behind like a glass window and you get to look at the artifact. That's kind of whatever. But if you actually get to go through the corridors where like people died, it's powerful. I agree with that. When I was in Chongqing, what the hell? All right, let's give this a try. Let's see if Google Translate can do it. Chinese.
Chongqing.
Chongqing.
Chongqing. 重庆
Chongqing. Chongqing.
重庆
Xing. Chongqing. The X, which isn't even an X in here, but like the way they pronounce that specific thing is really difficult.
重庆
It's like a S tone, but it's also like a little bit softer. It's like in between a sharp S and like a soft S. It's like somewhere in the middle. Oh yeah, we got geese. We got geese. We got everyone here. These guys, by the way, do not give a fuck. They just walk. You see them, they're like behind bars, but then they're just kind of out and about too. So, but it's also very windy, as you can hear. But yeah, these guys, they're just running around. It's actually kind of nice. I don't really feed them. I don't really care about feeding animals. But, you know, everyone else is doing it. You're not supposed to feed them because they can't guarantee that you're feeding them anything good. If you're just feeding them white bread or whatever, it's not actually good for them. Yet you feed yourself. I must feed. Yeah. I'm running it down. Running it down top. I actually won 3 games in a row today. It's kind of nice. But yeah, I mean, I gotta check on the cake. Gotta see if it's ready to cool. All right. I guess I can show you, since you guys calm down for a bit. This is what it looks like. I like that the camera still moves because there's such a big delay. But I'm like all the way back here. Okay, so I'm trying to set up the camera there. It's really weird to go like back in time. Okay, so that's it looks really pathetic. Because it kind of like deflated after a while. But it looks okay. The batter seems to be mostly solidified. Wow, the camera really fucks up, huh? That looks really insane. But yeah, I'm not gonna let this cool. Damn, this thing's actually just breaking apart. All right, let me release my phone. Bro made this shit in a rice cooker. It's insane, isn't it? It's actually too funny. It might be edible. Honestly, for what it's worth, it might be edible, but we'll have to actually wait. I'm not sure why it deflated that much. Probably because I poked too much. But yeah, that's it's gonna be interesting. I'm not sure if it even solidifies. It seems like it's just air, but it might solidify when I'm done with it. But that's a cheesecake. It's honestly not that bad. I guess cheesecake is kind of hard to mess up, so you can technically even make it in a rice cooker, but I'm not sure if this was too far out the norm of what it wanted you to do. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, traveling, I think so. The reason why I enjoyed this trip is because it felt like I was slowly learning or slowly getting better at traveling. I'm better at picking out places. I'm better at picking out stuff to do, so I'm not bored all day, but I actually find stuff. Yeah, these guys don't. They'll attack you almost. Not really, but they're kind of doing their own thing. Very used to people, which makes sense because there's a million people around here and they live here all their lives, so makes sense. So this is the rice cakes Japanese people eat so often? Nope, that's something entirely different. Actually, the concept of rice cakes is actually kind of weird. It's like the burnt bottom parts of the rice being like reused. I think that's what it is, right? I guess mochi also counts as rice cake. I guess there's different ways of there's different definitions, I suppose. I've heard that some people make or like there's a method of using the rice that has been like burnt at the bottom to like kind of like throw it into a ball and then like put soy sauce over it and have like sort of like a fried rice ball, which is sort of a cake, I guess. If you put it in, I don't know. Maybe I just picked up the wrong thing from someone. But yeah, this is I feel like I have adapted to traveling quite a bit, which I like. I want to explore more of the world a little bit. It goes with this theme of adventuring, right? Adventuring out in the real world. And Europe is actually makes it so it's a little less difficult. And I can't just keep visiting America. As much as it is the best country in the world, it's also like increasingly getting worrisome that I might not. But you know, any places is getting increasingly dangerous these days, so we'll have to keep we'll have to be happy that we can be safe in our country. But yeah, Europe for the most part, it's also like, you know, there's just I haven't been to Spain before. I haven't visited Portugal in a while. Portugal I've only seen as a little baby, so I don't really remember anything of it. I have one memory, which I don't even know if it is from Portugal, where I remember going down a beach. Some very faint memories of like the trips that I took with my mom to Tenerife, to Gran Canaria, a couple of islands in the Mediterranean, all that good stuff. And usually stuff that I don't really care about, but you know, my mother likes being at the beach. And me I might be able to appreciate it more often, or like more now. And so this was kind of like an easy mode travel. You just go to central London, you look at all the places that exist and have a good time, just eating some good food and doing whatever. I actually, because for lack of a better thing to do on the first day, because I wasn't really warmed up, I just went to the cinema and watched Project Hail Mary. Which was a good movie, don't get me wrong, but I could have seen that at home, I guess. But hey, I got to see the I mean, they do live dub here as well. You can watch them in English just fine. But yep, that's what I did. Project Hail Mary. Good movie. Ryan Gosling knows what he's doing. He's definitely one of the actors that I feel like they're grounded enough and like passionate enough about their job to or like their passionate enough about their art that it reaches through to the audience. Had me hooked for the entirety, and it went like 2.5 hours, I think. Pretty long. This is the Big Ben, by the way. You're hearing the Big Ben. Very exciting stuff. I know. But apparently I timed it perfectly, so you can kind of hear the bells go off while I was almost right in front of it. But yeah, overall, I think it's a comfortable place to just kind of like relax and walk around a little bit. People might not like big cities like this because it's too cramped, and you can kind of notice this with all the shops. Once it gets like 4 p.m. or something, all the shops, like every restaurant, every bar has like a queue outside of it. It's actually insane. It's the first time I've ever seen that. Even like, I know that in Japan that's sometimes the case. You have to kind of like stand in line for stuff, but there's so much there that you usually can always find something. In Soho, at the very least, everything has a line. Almost everything. That's insane, actually. But again, family holiday and all that good stuff. And there was even a sandwich place that had like a line from like 8 in the morning until like they were closing. It was just constant business, and it didn't even look that good. So I don't know why. And it was like in a back alley too, so I don't really know how. That place must have been like super popular or whatever. I don't know. Should have probably gotten the sandwich or something. The meat sandwich, the meat sub, the sausage roll or something. All right, as for food, and I can give you some evidence because I did take pictures of my food at the very least. At least I have one of them. The other one is not that interesting. I went to Marugame Udon and got some Japanese food because I love... Oh, there she is. Suisei. But yeah, this is Katsu Udon curry. Very, very safe. I played it very safe on the first day. However, this is kind of nice. This was kind of nice. Now, I wouldn't say this is Japan quality. Not by any stretch of the imagination. You can see it. The katsu is not made with soul, because the Japanese do go a little harder on the katsu to make sure it's as juicy and tasty as possible. This one looks good, but it's a little dry. It's a little dry. It's a little too much, but it was overall fine. The curry was good. If you mess up a curry sauce, then there's something else wrong with you. And I mean, the udon, I mean, there's a reason why you eat it with rice, but it's not bad with udon. And it's the first time I had udon, although you're supposed to have like a soup with it. But you know, this is my kind of dish. This is actually something that I might want to recreate at some point. This seems like a pretty nice, a little bit of a mix-up from the usual rice curry that I make. Just throw in udons or something. Pretty cool stuff. Got my Strong Zero. I'm glad they're selling Strong Zero at every Japanese place, which is nice. Also, pay like £5 for it, and it's only the 6%, not even the 10%. It's fucked up. But yeah, the Suisei. I went to the Animate store in London. There's one at a train station. Nothing too interesting. That's the stuff you find in Japan as well, but I wanted to make a little bit of a pilgrimage to see what was going on there. This is like the Hololive part. It's just a really, really small store. Train station stores are always relatively small. They don't really have a lot. I was actually surprised they actually hired Japanese people there. The cashiers, there were 2 of them, or like 2 employees. They were speaking Japanese, like actual just fluent Japanese, which is like, that's kind of cool, right? You work like in a store in your country, and it's like, hey, do you want to like live in the UK and go to like kind of a non-busy and work then at a store? Kind of cool. It's really not that busy because like it's not like a main train station. It's like the Waterloo station, which is kind of like not really much foot traffic because it's kind of out of the way of everything. So there wasn't really a lot going on. And even like the stuff they get, that's just very little. Just the generic anime stuff like Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, all that good stuff. They got like a whole row of Uma Musume, but they didn't really have anything I cared about. They didn't have they had like weird pillows and stuff, and just like little cards that I didn't really care much about. This kind of was kind of cool. They didn't have a Susei, unfortunately, for the plushes. Otherwise, I would have gotten one. But they had the standee, so I got the standee, or like the acrylic. I think it's called the standee, acrylic standee. Yeah, acrylic stand. Picked one up. I didn't have one with this outfit. It has now is now standing on my desk. So how many Suseis do I got? 1, 2. Only 3 so far. Only 3. And I got like 3 Suisei plushes. But yeah, that much for the first one. The second day I just got yakiniku, and the third day I survived on some like random ass stuff like fried chicken and stuff. Yakiniku was alright. That was also a chain store. Yakiniku like is what they're called. Very good. Just good quality food, and yakiniku is just good by default. I think there's really, as long as they have like certain cuts that I like, which is mostly just a strip steak, which it's the diaphragm of the animal, which gives it a unique flavor. I've tried making it myself. It's not that easy, but it's pretty tasty if you can get it right. I still don't really know how to make a proper tare, which is like the sauce they use to marinate the meat in. It's sort of like soy sauce, brown sugar, mirin, which is like a type of sweet mixture. I think mirin is also fermented rice or something, but like with the sweetness to it. I don't actually know if that's the case, but there's different things. It's definitely on the sweeter side, but the soy sauce kind of balances out. It's kind of just a really, really strong flavor ingredient. Together with the strip steak makes it really tasty. I don't really go for the Wagyu. It's just too fatty for me, and it's also kind of a waste, I think. Just like, ugh. It's like too expensive for my taste. Well, yeah, it's kind of good. The other place that I visited, that was on my last day on Sunday. I actually because they do have a couple arcades there. We don't really got arcades in Germany anymore. There might be one in Cologne, there might be one in Düsseldorf, and there might be one in Berlin. But I'm pretty sure the last one in Cologne that existed closed down like a couple years back. I wanted to go there at some point, but I think was renovating at that point or something like that. If they got arcade, they got like maybe like a cabinet or two in like a place that's like a mixed use, but not like proper arcades. And I found one place at the very least that had like a retro vibe to it. It was a little bit generic, but I still kind of enjoyed it. Let me see if I can find it. And that would be this place. So this is a bar first and foremost. This is the NQ64, I think is what they're called. I don't exactly know what they were called. It's sort of like it's all neon. It's all like sort of like has this retro aesthetic, just very generic one. They serve like drinks based on like video games and stuff. Kind of cringe, I guess, but they got a couple of cool things there. We got some, your usual. They had the Gauntlet Legends cabinet, which is kind of interesting. That's a throwback and a half. I played that game on N64 actually. I do have the physical copy. Very cool game. Not sure why it needs to be arcade, but definitely better on console. Also, the colors were washed out and stuff. Got some Street Fighter. Got some get some Marvel, get some Tekken, got some Mario Kart in the back. We got some, I think an Indiana Jones booth was there. We got some, do we got the racing booth? Did I take pictures of the racing booth? I did. All right, we got the big ass SpongeBob on the wall. We got some Outrun. We got some, oh, this was only 2 of them. I think on the left there were Daytona Racing, I think is what they're called. Like the Sega machines. Unfortunately, they were kind of broken, not really functional. What is this? This one we already added. But the most important part of that trip, did I even save the pictures? I don't think I did. Did I really not save them? I think just that specific image I didn't save, but I have evidence of playing a dance machine. This was a, what was this? I actually forgot, like a DDR type machine. Did Windows just close this thing? Oh no, it didn't. I don't exactly remember what the machine was. They're all kind of interchangeable, but I did get some practice in. It's really fun. I like dance cabinets, and I wish there were any here. I would probably go there every weekend to like practice and stuff because it's super fun to do. However, it's quite a workout. I was done after like 15 minutes, like 15 minutes non-stop. I did like 20 stages or something. That like kind of fucks you up. No, not 20 stages, like 10. How many coins did I put in? I put in 8 of my 10 coins, so it's like 8 times 3. Right. I spent a lot of time in there then. 24. Because one is always 3 stages. It's a lot of fun. I'm an old head rhythm gamer. I used to play these games a lot, but only at my PC. So that was kind of a fun activity because that's what we don't really have here. If I look at Deutschland Arcade. Hello. What do we got here? Planet Arcade is not... Okay, that is actually an arcade. And where is that? Where are you guys? Contact. You are in Bremen. Okay. That's not too far. Bremen is like an hour away with a train. Retro games, racing games, sport games, snowboard. Planet Arcade. Planet Arcade. I'm kind of interested. So this is like a mixed one that has like various games. I wonder if they have dance games. They must have like at least one, right? It doesn't even look like it. That would be pretty rough. Let's see what the... What the Google reviews say. Oh yeah, you get to see the lesbian traffic light now. They have like some funny bits in on these traffic lights. They changed out the icons for like something hilarious. They had like a couple of them. They had also like a gay traffic lights and stuff like that. That was really cool. And I think even the bisexual one. That's the one for me. There you go. There you go. That's the sign for bisexuals, I think, right? This one? Yeah, probably. I don't remember. Well, we got some guys making music. This is Trafalgar Square, in case you were wondering. All right, let me actually let me see how the cake's doing, and maybe put it in the fridge or something. You're supposed to let it slow cool, but I don't want to wait too long. It looks really edible, which is really funny. All right, it's still kind of too hot, so I'm waiting a little bit on that. But yeah, so arcade, pretty fun stuff. I would like to know whether or not there is any dance pads. I have played with the thought of buying a metal pad and then just doing dancing streams. I thought about it. First of all, I barely have any room. And second of all, it might actually make a lot of noise. Because you do jump. You do have to jump, especially if you're fast. Like, you have to jump a lot. So it might actually be too loud. Now my floor is pretty firm, but I don't want to become that upstairs neighbor, and I don't know how bad it is until I actually try it out. But do I want to pay $400 just to maybe piss off my neighbors? And then what do I do? Because, like, it's gonna be really annoying. I hate. Right, that's what I'm saying. I hate living in an apartment where you can't just make noise. I want to sing. I want to maybe play guitar and make a little bit of noise. I wanna. All these things require, for some reason, like the opportunity to make noise, and then in like in an average apartment in like a city, you just can't do that. You're just not allowed to creatively express yourself, which is horrible. I want to do that, but it's just not possible. I just can't. Like, either you have a house or you don't. You don't realize how, like, obviously I wouldn't just completely turn my life upside down if I was living in a house, like in an American style house, but at least I could like make noise. I grew up not making any noise because I couldn't wake up my mom. She would just get super mad if I started making like a lot of noise past like 6 p.m. So whenever I was in my World of Warcraft raids, I had to be muted and I couldn't say anything because like I literally was the guy in the raid who said I can't talk because my mother will wake up. That's kind of, you know how embarrassing that is? It's kind of lame. It's kind of lame. I was 14 at the time, but at the same time, you know. What you gonna do? You have to work around your limitations. I thought like maybe if you get like dampening mats or something, put them under the like if you get like yoga mats or something, that might like dampen it a lot. But I'm not sure if that actually dampens the noise or just makes it so you don't fuck up your floor. So I don't know if that's any good. But yeah, so many shops here, many things to explore in London. Definitely something that you could like spend a lot of time just walking around. And I think I would enjoy spending like a week here and just kind of like really going to the theater, going to, yeah, that's another thing that I didn't do, theater. That's obviously something you can do. Just like you're supposed to go to a Broadway show when you're in New York, because that's like the home of Broadway, and you want to support the traditional arts. You also want to go to theater. We have a theater here in our city, and there's also a place there. I have not bothered with them ever since I was forced to go to them. So I'm definitely not a traditional arts kind of guy. This was me contemplating whether or not to buy a juice from the place nearby, but I didn't want to like run around with a cup of juice that I didn't like. Didn't really have anything lemon related. Just like, yeah, you can get a juice, and they probably have like the most common thing, which is like orange and like mango. And I'm not about that. I'm really cursed because I like lemon flavored drinks, and the most popular lemon flavored drink that's being served is lemonade, which is 10% lemon, 90% sugar. And I would rather have 0% sugar and then just, I don't know, put something else in there. Water and lemon, two best things. And then maybe a little bit of sugar is fine, but like, it's a little fucked. So I think that's pretty much all I can say. I could go into the nitty-gritty details of my London trip, but honestly, it's not really that interesting. Other than that, it's just the broad strokes is I wanted to have a change of scenery and just visit a place I haven't visited, and this one seemed like the most logical choice, I suppose. Other than that, it gave me a passing interest in trying some more European cities. And I feel like doing Italy would be pretty cool. I think Mediterranean countries kind of have like a flair that you don't really get otherwise. Like this is very European, I would say. Not really European, but it's like Victorian, I guess. These types of buildings we see around here as well. So that's kind of my apologies. It's like the mix between like the really old buildings and like just modern shops, which kind of I've seen enough of those. I don't really need to see more of this. But like going to like Italy or something like that, where they actually had like whole different types of buildings they built, a lot of cobblestone roads and stuff like that, lots of like elevation and stuff. Really cool, and I think that would actually be super fun to visit and like record a little bit of video. Of course, like Greek in terms of nature and just looking at the landscape, having these long winding cities and like paths that go at the coastline, at the cliffs. Such a vibe, which is like, again, tourist hell, basically. But it's not about like, oh yeah, by the way, this thing. Apparently, there was an Age of Empires tournament there. There was like an esports tournament there when I was there. I looked at it and I was like, wait, what the fuck? They're just having like an RTS scuffle in there, which is insane. Like, I mean, it's not insane. It's London, of course. They got all kinds of things there, but passing that's kind of interesting. So yeah, that was like an Age of Empires like sponsored arena esport tournament, which is kind of cool, I guess. Very fun thing there. And that's our boy, the one and only Mr. Shakespeare. Don't know what he's doing here, but I guess might as well put him up here. So I do want to do more traveling, of course, as money permits. Oh yeah, that's the lady I was looking at. She's a very, very, very short skirt with like ripped tights, and like dyed hair with like, I think it's twin tails, or it's just like kind of, that's not twin tails. It's just like double bound, dyed hair, just a big ass sweater. It's just like, it's not even like, oh, that's really hot. It's just like, I wish I could wear that. Like this is just, just dye your hair pink, wear like a punky sweater, just rip tights and like a skirt, and then just go wild, I guess. But I don't got the aura. We also got a Darth Vader here for some reason. He was doing his thing. All kinds of things you see in a metropolitan area. I saw enough of like character actors trying to make a quick buck in New York. They're actually very prolific in New York, especially Times Square. All the Spider-Mans and the Marios. I don't think it was a Mario, but like, you know, Spider-Man's very popular with the people there. Spider-Man, does that play in New York? It doesn't, right? It's like, isn't it also like Brooklyn or something? Where is Spider-Man set? Where does Peter Parker live? Where does Peter Parker live? Peter Parker lives in Forest Hill, Queens, New York City. Okay. Long-time Chelsea apartment. Okay, fair enough. Bedford Tower. Newly wedded Pete and MJ move into exclusive condo in the Upper West Side, in a Gothic revival building similar in the style to Dakota. Interesting. Well, there's a couple of things. Stark Tower. But yeah, okay. So he does live in New York. Or at least at the beginning he does. Also, Akira in 4K, The Room picture, and now we're in Chinatown. Wait. Don't tell me that guy was wearing a Greg sweater. He was. Holy cow. I like how I entered and saw a bunch of Chinese text and went, this is not London. This is like the most London Chinese you can actually get. This is like not Chinese at all. Because if you can read the text, it's not Chinese. It's literally something like Chinese, like it's like a mix, right? Wait, I gotta. I rewatched my footage of London and found this guy. This is not Cantonese, this is Londonese. Yeah. Also, another thing. Award-winning gay bar in Chinatown. I mean, what can I say? The signs are there. And by the way, everyone's staying in line for the bun house. I don't know. Like there's people standing in line everywhere. They're looking for stuff. Like how do you even like choose a store here? These must all be locals then. I mean, invite me. You wanna visit the award-winning gay bar? You do know that you're not gonna have like femboy twinks there, right? It's gonna be blokes and mates. There's gonna be wankers. They're gonna be you know, they're not shaven. I can tell you for that sure. The only part they've shaven is their head. There's probably all kinds of people, but you know, you have to go during like Twink Thursdays or something. Twink Tuesdays, come Tuesdays. It's just the thing. But yeah, it's Chinatown, kind of funky. Bunch of lovely chuds. Yeah. I mean, what can you say? Chinatown, I feel like the one in New York was actually more authentic because it smelled like fish everywhere, because there were like actually people like selling produce on the streets. They were like sitting on a carpet selling like like little bits of trinkets and stuff like that. This is more. This is too clean. This doesn't have the Asian vibe. It's just a skin they put on. It's like a holiday event. It's like an event. It's like a seasonal event in an MMO. Oh, it's Lunar New Year. Everything's Chinese now for a little bit, except that it's year round. And there's probably some really good places here to eat food, but like the aura is average, I'd say. They still got. I got like a custard bun. Wasn't really that good. Too much bun, not enough custard, and like also too big and kind of like not really cooled. So that wasn't really up to my taste. And I didn't eat Chinese here because I'm not big on Chinese food, I'll say. I'll eat a duck, and there's like a roast duck specialist there. So maybe I could have gotten a duck with rice or whatever. Very simple stuff, sweet and sour sauce, just kind of your average thing. Very tasty though, if you can get like a good one.
But like, I feel like the quality of duck is like very Anji heavy. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe one day. Oh, hot pot's really good. Now that I'm seeing it on the signs, could have probably gotten hot pot. It's probably fine. But honestly, it's not gonna be that good. So again, I say this a lot. If you go to a big city and visit a place like this, like a bustling metropolis, every food place you're gonna get is is like a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 means it's good, you leave satisfied, but you won't remember the experience necessarily, the experience of the food. You can't say if it's better or worse. It doesn't offend you, but it's also not gonna change your life. That's a 6 out of 10, but you're also paying like almost double the price. Also, that was Labubu cakes. Just, I'm not gonna scroll back, but that's just something that I glanced. And that could be that could be good enough, and I think that's also okay. I actually think the stuff that I ate was just fun. I had a lot of fun eating. And that's kind of what the 6 out of 10 is for me. Everything above a 6 out of 10 means that it's stuff that I actually have to like go back and like figure out how to make, or like find anything in particular. It's but this was good. This was good for what I was there. It was worth my money. We're now leaving Chinatown, which means that there's now nothing left of this walkies. There's still like at least 30 minutes left, I think. It's like 20 minutes. I'm trying to get to the British Museum, but there's actually nothing there. It's actually closed too, so you can't even go in there. But this is just a little bit of rest, so I can kind of like think about stuff that I want to say and like frantically think about the cake that I'm probably gonna have eventually. Oi! What I also think, aside from this guy, it's actually not that loud. New York is way louder because people are a lot ruder in New York. Like, their honking is insane. This one's still like normal. People are still patient. And also upcoming is a traffic light that does not go green. Very exciting stuff. Also have to wait here for a fire truck. Exciting stuff. I think I got the quintessential London experience, which means I probably don't have to go again unless there's actually something that I want to do there. I think I got pretty much everything I wanted to see, and that's good. I like that. I like that I get the comprehensive, like, when it comes to my Japan trip, I definitely feel like I haven't seen even nearly as much as I wanted to see. If I wanted to go to the UK again, I'd probably go to the north, like something like Scotland or something, which isn't the UK anymore, I think. But, you know, the
the island, the British islands. Ireland's also on the map there, somewhere up there. Those would be a lot more for like a relaxation holiday, where you just kind of like don't care about sightseeing, don't care about anything, just lean back and just enjoy nature, enjoy walks, enjoy the fresh air, stuff like that. I would actually super love it to like visit Ireland at some point. I think I might go next year or something. It's definitely something that I want to do. I only know one Irish person that probably wouldn't even talk to me, but I might be able to get like some recommendations out of them, just in general, on what I might be able to do, what is there to see. Not sure if not every person that lives in their country also likes their country, but I think that person at the very least is relatively proud of their country. While I'm sitting on this traffic light, I'll check on my cake again. Okay, so I have I've tried to flip my cake, and I have noticed it kind of burned at the bottom, which was to be expected, but that's just kind of what cheesecake does. That's why you have the cracker layer, right? If you can make, I think there is a cheesecake recipe that just has the burnt part at the bottom, like sort of burnt, like just heavily browned, basically. It's called, what it's called? Give me a second. Give me a bit. Give me a bit. I'll get you in a second. It is a Basque cheesecake with a Q, which probably just means burnt in some language. San Sebastian cheesecake. Baskischer Käsekuchen. Okay. Oh, it's out of Basque. I see. It's just basically a burnt cheesecake without. That's basically what we're making. A one without like the cracker layer, which I never liked. I really don't like that. I hate that actually. But I'm pretty sure it's more. I should. Okay, so the thing is, what I have. What I have realized is I probably should have put like a baking sheet inside my rice cooker. That is probably the biggest issue because I can't, like, I don't know how to get the cake out of my rice cooker because it's kind of like got stuck at the bottom. I'll figure it out. I might completely ruin it, but that's okay. Don't really care. I might be able to do something there. I might be able to just throw it in the fridge like that and just take it out later, I guess. I'm not sure if I have to transfer it before. I'm thinking. Let me think. I'll cook something up. I need like a tool that can like loosen the dough below a little bit. And so it needs to bend, but I don't have like a bendy thing. Like a piece of like. Would the parchment paper be? No. It would just crumple. Let me think. What is a possible solution in the kitchen to loosen the cake. Maybe I should have put butter at the bottom or something. Maybe something to like coat the bottom layer. Just a little bit of something. But that will also increase the temperature it can go, which would probably burn it even earlier. I mean, would it? Not really. I don't know. It is what it is. There's people standing in line again for the random ass noodle shop. It's actually insane. Really, really funny how there's like just people staying in line. I've never, just doesn't happen in Germany, like at all. Not even in Berlin or anything like that. I mean, for the clubs, I guess, at night, but not otherwise. So so as much as traveling goes, we also have some other stuff that I don't really feel like I need to talk about, but I might as well, since you're already here and I'm here and we got the time. How do we proceed for 2026? It is 2026 already. That's wild. I'm 35 now. So we're sort of I'm burning out of playing video games. I still like them, but it's like I don't have the energy to really put effort into playing a video game. So it's more like just if I want to play a game right now, it needs to really have something that interests me enough. I think when it comes down to actually investing time in them, I don't really feel that comfortable anymore doing that. I'll still do it, but I won't really enjoy it. It's like I usually do this. If I play gacha games, if I do my dailies or something, I usually do it at work or when I'm on commute. So I just combine it with everything, but I don't really invest my full attention to it. Streams have obviously been a way to like kind of spark my interest in video games. But I'm always thinking like right now, I'm like, I want to be creatively more active. I want to keep working on cosplays. I want to keep working on my guitar. Also have to, unfortunately, at some point start working out, even though I absolutely hate it. It's like, that's like the big hurdle, and I don't know how I'm even supposed to start, really, because it's not like I don't know how it goes. I know exactly. I have all the pieces together here. I could just start working out, but it's unfortunately a habit that I have to build, and I don't have that habit. And I also have almost no incentive to build that habit. It's just a tiny little thing that's like my self-esteem, I guess, that I've lived without for 35 years. I probably will be able to do another 35. But if I want to be good at cosplaying and want to get out everything out of my body and like just look the best I can so I can actually be a little bit confident, I need to work on myself, which is hard. And video games are definitely not conducive to that sort of thing. What can I say? Life's difficult, huh? There will be a later walkies, probably next week, that has to do with whose main topic will be habits, I think, because oh yeah, there's some musical display here. I don't know, this looks like AI generated almost. Is some thing, some stuff you'd get like as a launch title for a Nintendo console. That kind of gives me the energy. So like Pikmin coded, but not really. No, it is really, really Pikmin coded, but it's just music. I don't know if there's viewer interaction or anything like that, but it's just people vibing, I guess. Habits. Habits are an interesting topic because they almost dictate every single thing we do in our day-to-day life. And building a positive habit, a habit that increments a certain stat, is actually insanely beneficial to your life. Building a habit of working out, building a habit of like creatively engaging with the world, building a habit of, you know, taking walks, learning something, interacting with people, even just the habit of brushing your teeth, or building the habit of like going to work on time, stuff like that, which is like, oh yeah, that's just things that you have to do to function, but it is a habit that you build. Because there's people that don't have that, and I didn't used to have any of those. I had to really sit down and hard force myself to build these habits from scratch, because there was a lot of things that weren't given to me, like not a lot of guidance that I've gotten as a child, which means that I missed up on some crucial habits that I never was able to build, because there wasn't enough people whipping me into doing these things until um, I actually until they became ingrained into my soul, pretty much. There's always this cliche of like the rich kid that is getting forced by their bourgeoisie parents to like be forced into playing piano perfectly. But that shit, like if I could play piano now, that would be so good. If I had like the music theory down, that would be so good, because I could like engage with music on a whole different level now. And obviously I would have become a whole total different person, but right now I hate the fact that I don't know music theory, and learning it the hard way, the way that I'm doing it, is not really working. And sometimes I wish I had like a little bit of a background in like piano, that I could actually that actually had like a grasp on these really simple bass music theory stuff, that I could like dissect music and figure out what they're made of, and then I could translate that very easily to guitar. But I'm not. I spent my entire childhood playing video games, and now this kind of now I'm kind of spiteful against it, where it's like, okay, I really wasted the formative years with video games. I can't just keep playing them. I need to start working on myself now, because in like 10, 20 years, I want to say, okay, I did something worth with my life, and it also fulfills me way more. Like going out, like even just going on a trip to London. I could have just played League of Legends the entire weekend, and I have done so the past 10, 12 years or whatever. Or I played World of Warcraft or anything. But I just decided to take the dip without any reason to go here. I went here and saw a different place. And this is a memory that I'll have for a long time, because it is just something that you carry around with you. It's just, there isn't anything interesting that happened, just a little bit of sightseeing. But I have been here. I can say I know what London feels like, what London smells like. And that's obviously not something I can be proud of, because it's just, I just threw the money at it. It's like the lowest form of traveling. I just hopped onto a plane and then just settled into a cushy office. I didn't go like hunting in the African jungle, and like, I don't know, climb the mountain or whatever. Just a very safe thing to start off with. But maybe I will be hunting in the jungle later. Maybe at some point I will go on an adventure. You have to start small after all. All right, let me see if I can save my cake. Also need to take a picture of it before I completely ruin it. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh, that's the end of the video, huh? Whoa, that was... Okay. That was quick. I just came back. Okay, so that was the London trip. I mean... I guess we can turn this off, huh? Guess we can turn this off. Let's put some music back on. Why not? I'll show you the cheesecake. Give me a second. I just need to transfer the image real quick. So you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. It doesn't look like anything, but you know how it goes. It's home cooking, right? Alright, there you go. This is the finished result. It looks normal. It has kind of fallen in and of itself a little bit, so it blew up a little bit. The bottom is also a little bit burned in the center, so definitely too much heat. So I don't actually know how much the rice cooker supplies in terms of heat, but it must have been more than 170 degrees or whatever, or it's just been too long. I think that was like a good 10 minutes of like full blast. I think the rice cooker, since it doesn't stop, it does actually get pretty hot. But yeah, I think a part of the burnt stuff stuck to the rice cooker. So I guess I can scrape that off later. I will have to see if this is actually edible. But I made a cheesecake in a rice cooker. What an interesting thing. But I'll probably stick to like actually making it in a pan next time, or like in a thingy. What's that called? A baking tray. All right, but what can you say? That's my London trip and my cheesecake baking. What a delightful evening we had together. I don't really have anything else to do. I was thinking about, is there anything else we can do? We could throw on another walkies video, but I think for now, we've done everything we set out to do. And we'll be back on another day. I don't really have any plans. Tomorrow I don't got anything going on. I might have to sit down and do my Suisei outfit. I do want to like sew it and try to make it work. I'm a little scared, but nothing else to do but try. I need blessings from someone who can actually sew, but we'll see about that. We'll figure it out. Nothing I will do on stream though, because I realize sewing on stream is kind of difficult because I want to really get in there with my face, and so not showing my face is gonna be kind of a little bit difficult. So I want to like fully focus on it. But other than that, not really any big plans. You'll see me when you want to, and you know where to find me in that case. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I was a little bit scatterbrained today, but I had cheesecake on my mind. We'll see how it cools, and I'll let you know whether or not it tastes good or not. I'll post a cross section on Discord later or something. In any case, I thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Ah, yes. What a delightful evening. We didn't completely ruin it.